Comunione e missione rischiano di restare termini un po' astratti se non si coltiva una prassi ecclesiale che esprima la concretezza della sinodalità.
In 2021, His Holiness Pope Francis, whose ministry is marked by his emphasis on the importance of journeying together, launched the worldwide Synod on Synodality. In the Archdiocese of Bombay, the past 6 months have been a profound journey of encounter, listening and discerning, culminating in these 2 days of discussion.
The synodal process started in our Archdiocese from January this year. 5 months down the line, when I look back to see how we have progressed as an Archdiocese, there has been some tremendous moment. We've had so many discussions with a variety of groups, whether it was the migrants, the house workers, Women's Commission, the SECs, people on the periphery, parents of special children. There have been so many groups that have been involved in the discussions, and the feedback that has come has been something really unique, something worth looking at. And as we moved through the feedback, as we had different experiences, there were some things that were very noteworthy and that stood out. For example, I remember one of the people telling us that we're so happy that we've been listened to, while there were others who said, thank you for giving us a listening ear. Even if nothing changes, but at least we were listened to. And this takes us back to Pope Francis, who wants us to have a synodal church, a church that is listening to people. And I think that this is something that we have been able to do. People are happy that they have been listened to. And today, as we come to the close of the first day of the Archdiocesan Synod here in Bombay, I can see a lot of happy faces. A lot of people are very happy with what they have encountered, with what they have heard today. And I think this journey is going to be something that we're going to look at maybe revitalizing or changing the church perhaps.
On the morning of June 3rd, St Pius X Seminary opened its doors to over 190 religious and lay faithful from across the Archdiocese. The first day began with a prayer ceremony, invoking the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and a warm welcome by Synod Secretary Alison Rosario and His Eminence Oswald Cardinal Gracious. Leslie D'Souza introduced the dynamics of the unfolding Synod, encouraging each one to keep an open mind, open heart, open will, and listen with empathy. The first session, themed An Inclusive Church, was conducted by Royston Briganza. How do we build an inclusive church? Beginning with the reminder from Acts chapter 10 that nothing that God has made is profane, across groups the response was to include, accept, and uplift marginalized groups and outcasts. The other common points included the importance of catering across language barriers, streamlining pastoral mechanisms, adapting catechism, dealing with loneliness, and respecting those from different Christian denominations and other faiths. In a session called My Voice, Sister Beena asked representatives from the group to express their dream for the church. These included wishes for a Christ-centric church with people who are empowered, empathetic, and active. Compares Astrid and Mark conducted an in-depth listening activity, helping everyone to really listen with the heart.
I think from all that we've been discussing, the one aspect that really resonated with me is the fact about making the church a collaborative one. Very often, the church isn't very collaborative in its approach. What I'd really like for to happen is that the inputs and the discussions actually bear fruit, that it does not remain something in theory to go in reports, but it actually becomes a reality, that we are able to get the message down to each and every parish, that only when we work together, when we actually put into practice what we're sitting here as armchair philosophers and discussing, only when it bears fruit will all of this actually make sense.
When I heard about the Synod and I was invited, I really didn't think much was going to happen. I mean, I know I have to give my opinions and say stuff, but I didn't feel a lot is going to change or something like that. But one really interesting thing has happened today, apart from the sessions and the talks and meeting people, is that in the seminary, like just the environment of the priests are just going around talking to one another, and the bishops are just in lay clothes, and you can just walk up to them and speak to them, and it just feels like a different environment, right? Like all these priests around, you can just talk to them, say hi and all that. and that it does something, the kind of environment which I feel just today, these 2 days, even the bishops sitting in the groups talking, is some part of what we talk about synodality, right? We're just all walking together, talking together, just like the logo, where the bishop is in the middle of all the people. If we as a church can continue to work on that, I think that would be great. And to some extent, I hope maybe in the long run, if that could work, I would really love for that to happen.
Okay, so first of all, when I heard about the synod, I thought that it was going to be just for the youth. And today, when I seen everybody here, I was personally confused, I was overwhelmed, and I was nervous. But then gradually, what I expected from the synod was one thing is just to listen to people and listen to their opinions, listen to their situations, and listen to their experiences most of all. Each and every person spoke certain points which were so valuable, and I could connect to each and every one of them. Although we are living in various parts of Mumbai, but our experiences are still so similar, and I could connect to everyone. And I hope for just one thing, that I as a person, as a youth, can channel God's love which He has provided for me as being a part of the synod, channel God's love through my parish, to my parishioners, and most of all in my family. And I hope that this part of this entire thing of synod helps us to understand God's love. Firstly, helps us to learn to walk together, not as individuals, but walk together as one parish, as one community. And I just feel that once we do that, we will walk together as one church.
The afternoon sessions began with the youth leading everyone in a rousing performance of the Synod anthem. The second session, conducted by Natasha Mani, focused on building a collaborative church. How do we work together towards a collaborative church? The group discussions resulted in several common points, putting the needs of the people first, a foundation built on trust and respect, with equal involvement from clergy, religious and laity. Inspired by Exodus chapter 18, representatives also highlighted the importance of distributing duties so that no one is overburdened or left out. The need for people to bring in their skills and talents, and the benefits of involving youth wholeheartedly in all sections of the church. Dr. Richard Pereira asked representatives to share what made them sad or mad about the church, which included answers about infighting, power plays, the church's response to social issues, and its treatment of those who have been hurt by it. An exuberant talk show hosted by Father Felix D'Souza followed. His Eminence Oswald Cardinal Gracious took center stage, along with 5 representatives from different vocations and age groups. Through the many intriguing questions asked and answered, it was concluded that while a lot of fruitful work has been done, there is still a long way to go. The evening closed with the celebration of the Holy Eucharist by His Eminence, and dinner was followed by a series of entertaining group dynamic activities led by Father Magi, a perfect end to the day.
Today when I look back and see the first day of our Archdiocese Synod, the excitement on the faces as they walked into St Pius X College, wondering what was in store for them over the next 2 days. And as they sat down and went through different sessions and feedback and group sharings and personal sharings, I could see people who are very happy with what they discussed, with what they shared, and I think there is going to be a difference. We are taking the church forward, and I see a new vitality that is coming forth for us here in our Archdiocese of Bombay.
I think the one word I'll say is very good, because the planning is super, the workshops, the questions asked, the group sharings, it's all gone very, very well, and I'm really happy about that. My hope is that the Spirit of God will really blow through the minds and hearts of all those present here and convict each one in their role, in His calling to them to build up the church in so many different possible ways.
Really, the Holy Spirit is present. The excellent participation of all the participants and the sincerity in thoughts and answers which are given. The people who have given input sessions were very relevant, and I am so happy that I am one of the participants here today. From this synod, my expectation is that there will be some change will be coming. I think youth will be given more role to participate in the activities of the church. Women will be more participative, not only cosmetically but in many ways, as Cardinal says. Their contribution will be great. And also there will be a lot of things which the pastoral care people are looking for, the witnessing value of Christ or witnessing value of gospel, that will start coming in. I think there will be a spiritual renewal in the church.
Day 2 began early with a cosmic walk, a reflection on creation and our role in the universe, led by Father Luke Rodrigues along the seminary's pathways. The third session, conducted by Father Ruben Tellis, focused on a faith-filled church, with a reflection from Acts chapter 2 and Colossians chapter 3, the accounts of the first members of the church, the early Christians. Faced with a twofold question, what do I expect from the church and what can I offer the church? The groups highlighted the need for a Christ-centric church which would lead to a spiritually charged, involved congregation. Other points included were the importance of being witnesses, of giving voices to the voiceless and leading Christ-like lives.
सबसे पहली बात तो यहाँ आकर के मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा लगा। ये 2 दिन का जो सिनोडल मीटिंग रही है, सारे तरह के फादर सिस्टर यूथ, अलग अलग तरह के लोगों से मिलने को मौका मिला, हर एक जन का सुनने का मौका मिला, हर एक जन का सोचने का तरीका हमको सुनने को मिला। एंड ये बहुत ही अच्छा लगा। हम पर्सनली बहुत कुछ सीखे। सिनोड तो एक बहुत अच्छी प्रोसेस शुरू किया गया चर्च के लिए, जहाँ पे हम लोग को ले पर्सन्स को, हर एक कैटेगरी के लोगों को इन्वॉल्व किया गया। बॉम्बे डायसिस मेरे हिसाब से एक एग्जाम्पल सेट करता है हर एक टाइम। इंक्लूजन की बातें हुई, उन्होंने हमें सबको बुलाया, हमारी सुनी एंड उसको आगे लेने की प्रयास कर रहे हैं। मेरी उम्मीद है, मेरी विश्वास है एंड शुभकामना है कि हम बॉम्बे डायसिस एक पूरे दुनिया के लिए हम एग्जाम्पल बना के रखें।
तकरीबन 200 से अधिक प्रतिनिधि जब उन्होंने बातें रखी हैं, उसे ये जाहिर होता है कि उनके मन में बहुत कुछ कहने को था। उन्होंने बोला है यहाँ पर कि हमको एक नई कलीसिया चाहिए, जिस कलीसिया में सभी लोगों का समावेश हो, सभी लोग एक दूसरे को अच्छी तरह से सुने, पहचाने। अब हम आगे के बारे में सोचते हैं। अगर हम केवल बातें करें, सोचें, विचार विमर्श करें और उसके पश्चात कोई कार्य नहीं होता, तो हमारी जो पूरी यात्रा है जाने की, वो कहीं तो स्थगित हो जाती है। मेरी ये उम्मीद है कि कुछ सालों के बाद में हम धीरे धीरे देखेंगे कि एक नया रूप जो बम्बई धर्म प्रांत का है वह हमें दिखाई देगा, जहाँ पर सभी लोग पैरिश में समावेश होंगे, जहाँ पर हर व्यक्ति अपने बारे में बोल सकता है, अपने विचार प्रकट कर सकता है और हर व्यक्ति कलीसिया में अपना जो कार्य करने का एक प्रकार का सोच होता है उसका, वो उसको करने का मौका मिले। यदि सब लोग मिलकर वो कार्य करते हैं, अवश्य रूप में हमारी कलीसिया और भी आगे बढ़ सकती है। यही मैं प्रार्थना करता हूँ।
The final session conducted by Father Felix D'Souza was based on the theme A Church Relevant to the Times, beginning with a reflection on Jesus' commandments to his disciples from John chapter 10. Discussions brought out the need for a church that maintains a connection and is in dialogue with society, the environment and the world. Other suggestions included enhancing and periodically evaluating the functions of pastoral bodies and utilizing social media for evangelization and outreach. Pranita D'Souza encouraged representatives to share what made them happy about their church. Answers included gratitude for the priests, the parish community, and the many associations and activities. Bishop Alvin de Silva summarized the discussions of the past sessions with an open invite for suggestions from the participants, which were many and varied. His Eminence Oswald Cardinal Gracious delivered the concluding address with a reflection on past synods and his hopes for the outcome of the current one. The synod ended with a joyful celebration of the Holy Eucharist by Bishop Alvin de Silva, who, recalling the first Pentecost, expressed his faith in the renewal of the Church, incorporating the growth the synod would bring.
Whatever has come out in the discussions has been very fruitful, enriching and eye-opening, and it has challenged all of us to open our minds and to look forward how we can now go ahead with what is being discussed over here. One of the issues that has been coming up in the discussions within the groups also is the need for faith formation, the need for catechesis at all levels, especially with regards to adults. So looking forward to whatever comes from this synod, from these discussions over these 2 days, and we started off opening our minds and hearts to the working of the Spirit. We ask the same Holy Spirit to guide us with the way forward.
Inspired by the Holy Spirit, let us continue our journey together to create a relevant, collaborative, inclusive and faith-filled church.
Hand in hand.